This is my favourite way to cook hapuku, and this is with the skin on. And so what I've done is I've scaled the fish, and then I've just slightly scored the skin, which is going to help that sort of crispness. And the beautiful thing about these fish, or one of the things to me, is that they have this lovely layer of fat between the skin and the fillet. And in fact, and that's part of the reason I love the belly as well, is the fat that's in there. And so when you cook this, the skin crisps up like a crackling, like a seafood crackling, which is it's a wonderful condiment to the fish. It's like a little textural thing. But it also releases, as it's cooking, all that beautiful fat, which sort of helps baste the fish. So all we do is we heat up our pan to quite hot, and then we're going to place the fish skin side down. Hot pan is the key. You can hear that it's hot as well. And then those two bits. And we just leave that just cooking that way in the pan, and it's just going to get nice and golden and crisp on the outside. Then we'll turn it and we'll just finish it in the oven for a minute. A little bit of salt and pepper. This fish, not only is it versatile in a way that you can cook it so many different methods, it's a fish that for some reason it's delicate, but it can take big flavours as well. So when I think about the fish, I think that there's so many styles that I can actually cook this. If I want it to be big and bold and a big tomato sort of bouillon-based sauce, it's going to hold up beautifully like that. Or if I want to slice little thin bits and just serve it with a squeeze of lemon juice and have it nice and delicate, it's going to work that well as well. One of the things about it is that it's a relatively easy fish to cook. It retains the moisture. Some fish, when you cook it, it's very difficult to get that cooking quite, perfectly cooked, because it's not cooked, then it's dry. Whereas this is quite a forgiving fish. So it holds that moisture for you. So you can, I like to cook it where it's just sort of opaque in the centre, but if you go a little bit over that, it's still going to be beautiful and juicy. So we're just going to turn these. And you can see and I can tell by just touching that's just gone beautifully crisp. We've got a little bit of colour on the outside, which I love. And then we're just going to place that in the oven and finish it off for, say, another 2 minutes. So that's had a couple of minutes in the oven. And then what I like to do just at the end when I cook my fish is just add a little bit of butter. And what it does, and then I sort of baste the fish with it. So that's mixing with the fat of the hapuku, and then it melts, and we just baste that fish, and that butter mixed with the natural oils or fat from under the skin just makes it absolutely super delicious. Squeeze of lemon juice. You can see that skin is just all the fat's let go in there, and it's crisp. Can you hear that? It's sensational. Honestly, it's unbelievable. And then the fish, and so what you've got is this absolutely magic eating experience where the fish is beautiful and moist, and you have this lovely crunch of the skin and the fat that's sort of basted over it when you've cooked it. It's a thing of beauty, just as it is, to eat like it is, and it's just got the wonderful attributes of what you'd like to have in a fish when you're eating it. And it's got texture, it's got flavour, and it's not too aggressive, and it just eats beautifully.